introduce to you week 5. Week 5 is July the 3rd through July the 9th. This week we're looking at large numbers, possessive adjectives, giving directions, and making plans. So you need to study pages 82 to 100 in your text. After completing this week's activities, you should be able to count up to 1,000,000,000 and talk about things that belong to you and other people using possessive adjectives. You should also be able to exchange information about classes and talk about how you and others feel. You should also be able to make plans to do something with someone and be able to ask for and give simple directions. All assignments for this week are due by the end of the day, July the 6th, and they address student learning outcomes 1, 2, 3, and 5, which you can find in your syllabus. So to get started, just like every other week, you want to start by watching the instructor-made videos. And then you'll find, when you open it up, videos on possessive adjectives, large numbers, expressions with tener, chapter 3 vocabulary, the verbs ir and hacer, and ser and estar. Okay? So when you're done watching the videos, go back out, and just like in every other week, you're going to want to open up the class participation forum, and you're going to want to click on the link and hit reply, and then post any questions or concerns you have about the videos. Okay. Okay, then after you've done that, we have a test. We have test 4, student learning outcome 1. This is a test on the second half of chapter 2. So you'll want to click on the test below. You only have 1 attempt and 3 hours to complete it, so make sure you don't start it until you're ready to. So when you're ready, open it up. Hold on. I'm not sure I put myself back in student view. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, I had myself in instructor view. We want to be in student view for you guys to see the quiz, right? Or the test. So when you're ready for test 4, click on test 4 and hit attempt quiz now. So it starts off with los deberes or duties. Do you know the difference between tener and tener que? Complete the following sentences with the correct form of either tener or tener que. So you have to read the sentence, decide whether it would take tener or tener que, and then you need to conjugate the tener either by itself or the tener in the tener que expression for the subject of your sentence. Remember that the subject comes before the verb or before the blank in a statement and after the blank in a question. And remember that tener is used when talking about possession, things that belong to people, and tener que is used with duties, things that you have to do. And it's usually followed by an infinitive. So there's a couple like that, or more than a couple. Then down here, completamos las frases. Choose the verb that best completes each sentence. And so you're given verbs A, B. All you've got to write is A or B in the blank, and you do not need to conjugate the verb. The verb, you want to use it in the form that it's been given. Okay. Más verbos. Complete the following sentences with one of the verbs from the word bank. Be sure to make the verb agree in person and number with the subject when necessary, and use each verb only once. So this time you're going to read the sentences. Pick the verb that best completes the sentence, and then you do have to conjugate it. Up here, because you're using, up here it's already been done for you. It's more, do you understand what these verbs mean? Down here, you actually have to do the conjugation. You're taking it a step further. Here's otros verbos. Complete the following sentences with the correct form of the verbs in the word bank. Be sure to make the verb agree in person and number with the subject and use each verb only once. So you'll pick the verb that would best complete the sentence, and then you need to conjugate it. Los gustos. Complete each of the following sentences with a logical verb from the word bank. Use infinitive verb form. So they're given to you in their infinitive form. You do not need to conjugate these verbs. You simply need to take the verb and plug it into the sentences below. And make sure you use each verb only once. Un amigo ayuda. An international student from Spain is helping you review for your exam in Spanish class. He wrote some sentences in Spanish but left out important vocabulary words. Complete each sentence with the correct words from the list. So you're just going to take the words from the list and write them in the blanks below. Okay? And that's the end of the test. So when you're ready, you hit submit all and finish, and it will come to me. And you'll be able to see anything in red is what you got wrong. Okay, so we go back out to our site after having finished test 2. We also have oral dialogue too, which is in My Language Labs. So you can click on the My Language Labs link, but I already have this up and this stuff is due on the 6th. So I'm going to open it. I am in June, so I'm going to have to move over to July the 6th. And I'm going to scroll through what I have out here. And there's my oral dialogue. So I'm going to open it up. You only have one attempt at this as well. This is an assessment. Okay, so click start when you're ready. And then this one asks you questions and you're just going to record. So it says, ¿Qué estudias en la universidad? Estudio español. Okay, and then it's saving.
Estudio español.
So double check to make sure that what you have is what you want. I think I can redo it. Estudio las matemáticas.
Estudio las matemáticas.
So you can do it more than once. Just keep hitting record, and that'll record over what you recorded the previous time if you feel like you need to change your answer. Okay, and so when you're done, after you've recorded everything, hit finish and submit for grading, and it'll come to me. Okay. You also have a reading comprehension quiz, so it's below here. You have 2 hours to complete it, so don't click on it until you're ready. So if you open it up, there are 2 passages. It says, please read the following 2 passages. This is one, Un Amigo Mexicano, and the other is Eduardo Cruz. So you'll read those and then attempt the quiz. And I've put the passages out here in the first question, so you can go through and read them here as well, or keep referring back to them. And it asks you how old is Eduardo, from where is Eduardo. Just plug your answers in here. You can plug your answers in English. Remember that if it's short answer, the computer is going to probably grade it incorrectly. So don't freak out if your score is lower than you think it should be. I'm aware of this, and we'll go back in and start grading these after the due date. Okay? And then there's a few that are just true, false. And so when you're done, hit next, and then hit submit and finish all. And again, it'll come to me, and you'll be able to see which ones you had wrong. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Assignment 8. This is in My Language Labs. You have to do SAM 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 3.11, 3.12, 3.15, 3.18, 19, or you can see all the numbers there. So I'm going to go back out here. Okay, and this is June. I want to go over to July. July the 6th. And then all those assignments are going to pop up. So those I'm going to need to do all the SAMs, the one that have an S beside them. You'll notice that I also have a grammar tutorial, some extra practices, some more grammar tutorials, and then the oral. So the grammar tutorials and extra practices are just that. They're extra, so you do not have to do them. You only need to do the SAMs that were assigned out here. Okay. Writing assignment 2. So you're going to open up the assignment below and follow the directions and upload a paragraph in which you write a detailed description of the things you need to do next week. Use phrases such as tener que, necesitar, or ir a to describe the things you have to do or going to do. Include information such as the following: your class schedule, your work schedule, any plans with friends or leisure activities, any other activities that you do on a regular basis, going to the gym, studying, etc. Next week, you'll be asked to use the rubric embedded in the assignment to provide meaningful feedback to 2 of your classmates regarding their paragraphs. You will then use this feedback to turn in a final draft, which I will grade. Make sure that in the feedback box to help people with their grammar and spelling. So when you're ready, you'll open up the writing assignment 2, and this gives you the instructions for submission. It tells you last week you forgot to do your homework for your Spanish class. In order to help keep track of everything, write a detailed description of the things you need to do next week. Use phrases such as tener que, necesitar, or ir a to describe the things you have to do or are going to do. Include information such as the following: your class schedule, your work schedule, any plans with friends or leisure activities, any other activities that you do on a regular basis. So then when you're ready, you hit start preparing your submission, and then you'll title it, you can title it your name, and then just post or write your submission and then hit save changes, and it will come to me. And everyone gets 100 for completing this, and then next week it'll open back up and you'll go in and give feedback to other people. And then the final piece of this, it will be another assignment where you can go in here and copy what you've done, and then you'll post your final draft 2 weeks from now. Okay? And so that's everything for week 5.